To facilitate the process of getting the lands back, in 1908, Father Hoffman drafted the Chota Nagpur Tenancy Act. This act reiterated the undeniable fact that the land is life for the indigenous tribal people, and this proved to be the cornerstone in the preservation of the land in Chota Nagpur till the present time. In 1896, the rains cheated the farmers. There was a great famine. Tribals in Chota Nagpur who had dug up all the hills and the jungles hunting for edible roots in 1896 had nothing left as the last resort. In 1897, even Maua and Sal failed. Those who could dare to walk began to walk to the tea gardens in Assam and West Bengal in crowds. Some were directed to the Andamans and some others to the indigo plantations at the foothills of Nepal. Many villages were abandoned completely since the inhabitants moved away to unknown destinations wherever they could earn their 2 meals a day for survival. The missionaries took the first initiative to approach the British government to start Food for Work project. There were other feed centers to run by the government, but nothing compared to the Jesuits and the leadership of Father Levens. After having worked tirelessly for the liberation of the tribal in Chota Nagpur, the Levens and his companions became closely associated with the indigenous tribal society. They learned the tribal languages. Not only learned the tribal languages, but became pioneers in producing dictionaries, anthologies and grammars, etc., which are till this day considered standard for reference. J.B. Hoffman and A.B. Emlen co-authored the brilliant Encyclopedia Mundarica in 15 volumes. Likewise, Northwood, Hart, Gingdal, Boding and Acker have resources of immense value for tribal languages. The missionary proclamation is also accompanied by schools, hospitals to meet the urgent needs of the local population. Thus, from the outset, the missionaries in Chota Nagpur understood mission as bringing about social change in a context of exploitation and marginalization. No one denies the fact that they employed the traditional model when Christianity encountered the tribes of Chota Nagpur, but primarily they employed the praxis model, where both as preaching about Jesus Christ meant working for the abundant life which Jesus proclaimed. They worked tirelessly towards this goal, namely safeguarding the rights with regard to their lands, imparting education and the ministry to the sick through clinics and hospitals. And this is how they understood God's work in Chota Nagpur. This is responsible for the present well-being and somewhat enlightened status of the large majority of the tribal people at the present time. Some members of Santal, Kunda and Oram tribes have traveled far and wide, away from their traditional place and practices. Some have become successful parliamentarians. Some have been to the United States or have studied at Oxford and Cambridge, where they have distinguished themselves both academically and at sport.